say hi from Washington. We made it. We finally moved. Yes. Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Maeve says hello to. Today I wanted to discuss something that happened very recently, about a week ago. I moved. As said in previous videos, I am now up in Washington State, where I'm originally from, and outside is beautiful and it's gray and cloudy and I love it. I originally moved back up here because of a multitude of reasons, but I'm also helping my brother and sister-in-law out, helping take care of their 4-month-old baby. And so that's why different scenery. And there is a sleeping 4-month-old, so I'm not going to get too loud. But I wanted to discuss some of the things that made me anxious on a very long journey. Travel can be fun. It can be whether you take a plane, a train, or an automobile. Also a really great movie if you've never seen it. But travel can be fun. Unless you have anxiety, like I do. And that multitudes into different factors when you're traveling, be it through those different various forms of travel. I, myself, chose to drive. Some facts, just so you know. Train's about 8-10 hours from Los Angeles up to where I'm at. A plane is 2.5 hours. Driving, which I chose to drive, is 17-ish hours. I had a lot of stuff that I wanted to bring with me, so I chose to drive. In hindsight, I probably will never ever do that again, because there were a lot of stuff that things that happened that I just couldn't foresee, a couple of panic attacks, everything like that. So I just wanted to share a little bit of my story, give you guys some tips and tricks, and you guys take what you will. Take from there. And if you hear noises, that's the cat. She's getting used to the room. It's great. I chose to drive alone with the cat as my passenger seat. And I will say this right now, if someone offers to go with you, take it. Take it full force. Have someone that just will be there. You guys can switch off driving, talking, everything like that. It makes it go by so much faster than it would if you're alone. But if you are alone, then that's just your only option. You can do other things as well. I downloaded an audiobook. I'm a couple of chapters into Ready Player One, which I'm really enjoying. I had a car that was great. It had Bluetooth connection, and I listened to Netflix. I listened to Friends a good portion of the way, and Archer. I also Pandora or Spotify, whatever you choose. Great stuff. I like 8 hours-ish of that was spent with a mini concert by myself. It makes the time go by faster, and it also it doesn't get you bored. Because one of the things, and I had a moment where I was like, I don't want to listen to anything. I'm on my own. You turn off everything, and with anxiety, everyone knows your thoughts manifest and manifold, and you're like, what if this happens? What if this happens? And the one thing about road trips this long is that it could potentially have that risk of your mind going into the recesses in the back, and you're like, so I highly recommend just doing what you can via audiobook or anything to keep you entertained if you are by yourself. That being said, you know, with driving alone or driving with a group or another person, if you are driving alone, like I am, you are going to be driving in the same position for so long. And for myself, with my anxiety, I suffer from restless limb syndrome. I don't get it in my legs, I get it in my arms. So definitely take those breaks. Stretch. If you need to stop, stop. There is no harm in anything, unless you are on a deadline, which I don't recommend. I highly recommend giving yourself a ton of time to make this trip. I did mine in 2 days, and I won't ever do that again. I'll probably take more time just because of that everything. And mine was a money factor because I rented a car and I didn't want to spend as much money as I needed to, unless I absolutely had to, over the course of renting the car for multiple days. There are other multiple factors that play into the anxiety, just besides driving solo or driving in long positions. This, you know, did not happen to me, which I was very thankful, forgetting to pack the right things. So I know that can be a massive cause for anxiety for some people. And if you need to make lists of anything, I can't tell you how many lists that I made to make sure that I packed everything and what was going in what box, what was going up front with me, everything like that. I highly recommend lists. Use your phone app for notes, whatever. Do what you gotta do to make sure that you have a fun and safe road trip. Because if you don't, you know, you forget your power cord, your phone dies. What if you need your GPS? Or if you're using it for music or Audible or anything like that? And yes, the cap just did fly off. That being said, with the GPS, sometimes you don't follow and your anxiety gets in your way and you miss a turn and almost running out of gas. So, yes, this happened. I was really inside the middle of Washington and I was just running out of gas, took the wrong turn, I almost ran out of gas. So just make sure, as anxiety, going with your lists and not having a panic attack in the middle of whatever, Washington or wherever you may be prepared. If you need to take an extra spare can of gas just in case, next time I'm going to do that. But also next time I don't think I'm going to road trip. I'm going to pay to send everything down or up or over, and then I'll fly, because this was a pain in the butt. Next step, last step. I mean, there's a multitude of factors that could play into everything with a road trip that makes other people anxious that don't necessarily make me anxious. But when you get to that new area, make sure that you feel like you can make that your home. If you're moving, great, like I moved. If you're just going to visit and you're doing the road trip to visit, whether you're staying at a hotel or like I did, I slept at a rest stop, which actually would make a ton of people nervous and anxious because you don't know anything. But I feel like it was more anxious for me to stay at a hotel and leave my car that is filled with all my personal, like my entire life, alone. So I chose to sleep at a rest stop, and I did it actually during the day where there was a bunch of people around, and I drove mostly at night when there was less traffic, which I recommend. If you don't mind driving at night, I highly recommend that because there's less traffic, you kind of get in a zone, and if you can sleep during the day and then just kind of do a night owl thing for one day, highly recommend it. If I did this again, that's what I would do. Whatever you're in, make that feel like your space. So when I was sleeping at the rest stop, I made sure that I had my weighted blanket. I've already talked about this before. I had it up front with me. I had the phone plugged in. I had also, everyone, I have a snuggle buddy. His name is Billy. We've talked about Billy before, but it's just like something that I can hold, that I feel safe. Yes, I'm almost 30. Well, not really. I'm 29 and I have a snuggle buddy, but incredibly that made me feel safe. I also knew that my parents were on speed dial. The people that I'm living with, my brother and sister-in-law, are on speed dial. If I needed anything, people were there for me. Just make yourself comfortable. Have your favorite snacks, everything like that. When you finally get to your destination, make it feel like home. So I have in a smaller room, but I'm also living in a house now, opposed to a single solo apartment, which is great. Absolutely love it. But, you know, I have my bed. I have over here, I have all my junk set up. I have my books around. I made it feel like my space, where if I needed to get away from the baby or my brother and sister-in-law, or if I had a quiet place once the baby went down for the bed and I was off, I had my space. I have my TV set up. It's not fully done, but it's my space and it makes me feel comfortable. So make it feel like your home. Start to slowly, if the process takes a while, that's okay. But slowly get into it and you'll feel less anxious. So I guess, long story short, those are some of my tips. You know, take breaks. Always take breaks. Make yourself comfortable. If you can drive with someone or a group, do it. If not, you know, make sure you have Audible or Pandora or anything to keep you entertained. Make sure that you feel comfortable no matter where you are. and where you're located. Remember to eat and drink lots of water or coffee if you need to make coffee. I think I made so many coffee stops. It's not even funny. Lots of Starbucks. And I guess the big thing about it is don't try to put a number on it. You're gonna get there eventually, and it'll be okay, no matter what happens. And if something comes along the way, you have the tools and everything, like the breathing techniques and the walking and everything you need to continue on and get forward in that journey. I made it safely, soundly, and I know you guys can too. So, thank you for watching this video, and I hope that you guys like it. Please give it a big thumbs up. Share it if you feel like this could help someone else that you know may be suffering from any form of mental health issues, or any of my other videos that might be helpful to any other person. And of course you can always follow me on Snapchat, which is not really a big thing anymore, but Twitter and Instagram at VVLoot. All the stuff is down below. And I hope you guys will continue to be watching. I hope to be posting more videos now that I am no longer in the crazy world of LA and super busy. So until next time, guys, sláinte. When you're filming a video and you have to wait for your cat to use the litter box and then a street sweeper comes.